Ken.
Pretty electric, Joe, and much has been made of Team USA's relatively grim-faced approach in this tournament compared to the joy we've seen from some of the Latin American countries, the Dominican Republic, Venezuela. Part of that stems from the fact that until tonight, the U.S. had not had an electrifying moment similar to Trey Turner's go-ahead grand slam in the 2023 quarterfinal against Venezuela. Tonight, we've seen 3 such moments. The Judge throw, the Henderson homer, and the Anthony homer. From the beginning, the players have said they've relished this experience, relished playing for their country, but the way they're playing tonight, it's a lot easier for them to show they're having fun.
And it's certainly, I mean, high tide raises all boats, right? And the way that the Dominican Republic are over there having a great time, and the environment in this building figure infuses them with some of that as well. Harper flies out to left on the first pitch, and Mark DeRosa said he just hates that narrative that they're not having any fun. Look, it hadn't probably been real fun the way that it's been against Mexico. For a lot of that game, they were quiet, and against Italy, the loss. Plenty of reasons to get excited early on in this game. Here's Judge, who's 1 for 2.
I always laugh at the notion that, you know, a guy could strike out 3 times, break 3 bats over his knee, and it'll be viewed as that's an intense competitor. He struck out 3 times versus the guy that strikes out 3 times and sets the bat in the bat rack.
High drive center field. Rodriguez going back. Did he get enough? He did not, because Julio scaled the wall. Spider-Man robbing Superman.
Judge had carried his bat almost to first base. Watch this. He knows he's got it pretty good. He's got the bat in his hand the whole time. So there's maybe just a little doubt, and then that eliminated it.
Julio Rodriguez, who just got hit by a pitch. Dominican Republic fans, certainly Seattle Mariner fans, were holding their breath, making sure he was okay. I think he's all right. Dismay and respect all the same. Something altogether different right there from Mejia. So it stays 2-1. 0-2 on Kyle Schwarber. Julio Rodriguez right at the forefront of young players coming out, showing emotion. Of course, more of the culture in this World Baseball Classic. It invites more of that. And it is so much fun watching them, like he says, play the game like he's a kid again. 0-2 to Schwarber in the dirt. They asked Albert Pujols, do you think that some of this can be taken to the regular season? The emotion you see across the WBC, and he said, I just don't think you can replicate it. You got to know that this is in our blood. This is in our DNA, the way we came up playing the game in the Dominican Republic. So a lot of it has to do with repping the country, wearing that jersey.
Well, plus, he'd be wiped out.
Right?
162 games.
How many more we got? 150.
I always wonder, how much time does it take to remember every celebrational move? The high, you know, everyone's got something, and you know they work on it.
Schwarber on the ground, past Marte, 2-out base hit. Yeah, you got to have a full catalog of those.
Yeah, you do.
You know, like quarterbacks have their play call sheet. You could pull out your band to remind you of your celebration.
The way my brain is, I would forget half of them and it'd be like, oh, my bad. You know, that wasn't the one we were supposed to do with you.
Gunnar Henderson, who lit the fire for Team USA with a home run to lead off last inning. And Chase Luis Severino, he's going to face somebody other than Mejia. Brazoban will come in. It was this close to a 3rd home run. But Julio Rodriguez, you can take home a piece of the game. You can bid on game used jerseys, baseballs, bases, and more at auctions.mlb.com. And Julio saying, yeah, you see that? You like that?
You know what's amazing is when you get to see these guys up close and realize how big Julio Rodriguez is. He's huge. Tatis is big too, but this man right here,
like NFL, outside linebacker, safety.
he could be. I mean, he plays center field, so we see him from a distance. And
Gunnar Henderson, not a little guy. As he climbs in to face the new Dominican pitcher, it's Huáscar Brazoban. 36 years of age of the New York Mets. Brazoban started his baseball journey some 15 years ago when he signed with the Colorado Rockies, but didn't make it to the major leagues until a decade later when he finally broke through in 2022. Ball one on Henderson.
Tell you what, Schwarber can get as big a lead as he wants. They're not even going to pay attention to him.
Up along first, that's fair ball, and Gurriel steps on the bag to end the inning. He's had some tremendous defense in this game. Rodriguez, Dominican really made him work in that inning. He'd average about 12 pitches per inning, but had to throw more than 20 in the fourth. 9-1-2 coming up here. It's Geraldo Perdomo to lead off.
I know it's only 2-1, but there's been a lot of emotional things that are happening in each of these innings. What did we talk about? How many times it was going to be, how hard it was going to get just 3 outs in an inning. It's happened once or twice.
I think you're right. Just the bottom of the first inning. 1-2-3 for Skenes. Rocks and fires in 0-1. Perdomo fouls it off, and it's 0-2. Skenes had 3 uncles who served in the military. That was what inspired him to want to go the same route. Of course, by now you know, went to the Air Force Academy with dreams of being a fighter pilot. Baseball took him to LSU, but he said he thinks every day about what he learned at the academy, and he wanted to do this. He wanted to pitch for Team USA. He said for every serviceman and servicewoman. Popped into left center field. See who wants it. It's Anthony. And it's, for some guys, you're going to say that because that's what you're supposed to say. But that is genuinely coming from the heart of Paul Skenes. That's a big part of who he is.
Yeah, all I can think of is, what's the tallest guy to be in a cockpit?
That was going to be a problem. Back to the top in Tatis. Skenes is 6'6", 260 pounds.
I just hope this young man can stay healthy and defeat the odds of every pitcher in the big leagues that throws like him, that usually ends up getting something, an injury. I hope he can stay healthy and pitch for 10, 12 years and set all kinds of records.
Tatis with one away, takes inside. He's going into his 3rd year with the Pirates. He'd love to see the Pirates build a little more around
Come on,
him.
Pirates.
And they made some moves this offseason. Got a 1.97 ERA his first 2 seasons. Cy Young after he won Rookie of the Year. Tatis cracks his bat on a flare that's foul.
And I think for him, the next level is going more innings, giving his team more chances to win games. It's must-win game when he pitches, right? And he had a lot of games where it was just 5 innings, 6 innings. And a lot of that had to do with pitch count. A lot of that had to do with controlling the environment for him. The next level for him is to get over that 200 innings and really make that impact in every game a little bit longer by staying in the game a little more.
New piece of lumber for Tatis. 0 for 2 tonight. Skenes comes home. Tatis pounds it into the ground up along 3rd. That is a foul ball.
And the reason I say that is the reward system is counterproductive in our game. They will reward a pitcher for more sexy stats like strikeouts and things that don't really necessarily long-term help your team throughout the season. Innings pitched needs to get back into the forefront to be a valuable commodity for your team.
And I think you're seeing a surge in that. We often see what happens in the postseason become a season-long trend that follows. And look what a lot of the Dodger pitchers did during the postseason. Yamamoto at the front of that line. 1-2 comes home to Tatis. Pops it foul.
Because you can go into a game and be really selfish to get stats, meaning you could throw 110 pitches in 5 innings and get 10 strikeouts and ultimately not be as valuable to your team.
Penn's got to cover 4 innings. Season-long effect of that. You do it too many times. Tatis hustling. Bare hand throw, but wide. Tatis with an infield hit. The only chance Henderson had. Throw is offline though. Tying run aboard. And with the speed of Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, Tatis right as he hits the ball is taken off out of the box. Right here he knows immediately. Head down. Going to take a perfect play. Perfect throw. And it almost happened.
Career high 32 stolen bases for Tatis last year. He's the tying run at first, taking a good lead, not running, and a healthy cut and a miss. Yeah. Swung so hard his hand came off of the bat, did Marte.
Bottom hand usually is not the one that comes off the bat, and that's the one that did on that swing.
Getting up into the range that Mark DeRosa was talking about for Paul Skenes, but the bullpen still relatively quiet down there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just now, Tyler Rogers has started to get loose. He's one of the new additions to Team USA's bullpen. They added a few guys over the weekend. Rogers, Tim Hill, Will Vest, Jeff Hoffman. Tatis leaning again, but not running. Line drive, base hit left center field. PCA cuts it off. Tatis hangs on.
Wow, I thought Tatis easily had third base right there.
He's maybe got PTSD.
Maybe
cut down by Judge earlier.
That's shocking there, because that ball and that angle for the throw was going to be really difficult to wheel around and throw to third.
And there'd be more value in him getting there here than there was when he got thrown out by Judge when there were 2 outs.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to do it for Skenes. The Dominican fans realize what this means. The American ace leaves the mound. And the Dominicans are going to say anybody but Paul Skenes. Rogers comes in, and you cannot swing further from one end of the spectrum to the other. No. You got a guy who averages 99 to a guy that is in the 80s with his fastball. Tatis at second, Marte at first, and Juan Soto's the hitter.
Yeah, that's the one thing when a reliever comes in the game, and I know we got Soto at the plate, so I don't think they'll be too aggressive, but the best time to steal a base is when a reliever first comes in the game with traffic.
Rogers to Soto. Out and away for a ball. Yes, that is an 82-mile-per-hour fastball.
And it's one of the lowest release points you'll ever see. I mean, he's scraping the ground and really trying to create an illusion to the hitter.
Bouncing ball towards the middle. Went to the bag. Off balance. Throw for a double play. Got it on the ground and got 2. Tyler Rogers, welcome to team. Razabon misses inside to Will Smith. And a 2-1 game here in the 6th. 3 solo home runs accounting for the scoring.
There has been counterpunch, counterpunch, counterpunch. Who's going to deliver the big blow? The game of separation right now. 1 run that really, when you think of the chances of scoring, each team done a nice job getting the other one out of trouble.
Will Smith had a bunch of big blows for the Dodgers in the World Series run last year. None bigger than the game winner in the 11th inning. Anthony and Terang to follow. Razabon's 2-1. Smith hooks it foul. Good problem for Mark DeRosa to have, choosing between the 2 catchers. He's gone back and forth between Cal Raleigh and Will Smith. Raleigh hitless so far, and said his swing is just not in a great place. Often isn't at this time of year. If they get to the championship game, it's then going to be who has played best to that point that Mark DeRosa was going to choose to start. Down in a high pitch. One gone in the 6th. And it brings up Roman Anthony, who's got one of the 2 home runs for Team USA. Here's our player profile, sponsored by AT&T. Youngest player on the roster, 21 years old. Go-ahead shot in the 4th, his 2nd home run of the tournament.
And they gave him the rookie treatment. They had him doing all kinds of things. Well, he has delivered. He's become a veteran on the spot with all the, really with not a lot of experience, but man, oh man, he plays like he sure does have it.
Bryce Harper said, "Hey kid, we need some music. Go get us a speaker." But not just any speaker. Mark DeRosa described it as a 1,000-pound speaker that he's responsible not just for buying, but making sure it gets lugged around so they can have their music. 1-1 to Anthony. Swing and a miss. 1-2 out in front of the changeup. He has been in the hip pocket of Aaron Judge. Yankees, Red Sox getting along. Only in the World Baseball Classic. Guided by their nation's colors here. 1-2. Here comes Brazoban. It's in there. Strike 3. Sinker dives back to the inside edge. 2 out.
This is a great pitch. Look at the movement and the late inside part of the plate. Called strike 3.
Bryce Harang now. And time is called. Talking about Brazoban, how long it took him to get to the major leagues. Part of it was he wasn't pitching very well, but part of it was he had used his younger brother's name to get 2 years and be a more attractive prospect, and then they found out about that. So visa issues for years as he would try to come back from the Dominican Republic to start his seasons. And when he went to the Mets a few years back, they went out of their way to help him sort those out, basically get that file closed so he doesn't have to deal with the problems when he's going back and forth. So that's been put to bed. He's established himself as a nice piece.
Well, in the beginning, I felt like the team that would put the ball and play more was going to win this game, and that hasn't been proving to be true so far. 10 strikeouts by the USA team, but 2 home runs has got that slim lead.
Big swing and a miss from Turan. Comes in leading Team USA, hitting .476. 0 for 2 in the semi. Down 0-2 here.
Man, he looked really good on the mound.
And he stays that way, pulling the string and a changeup and striking out the side.
Whether it was 7-6 or 2-1, I thought the game was going to be this way the entire way, and now it's going to come down to the bullpen for the USA to execute perfectly because there's not much room for error at this point.
And the newest pitcher to come out of that bullpen is Griffin Jax, who has not pitched since Monday. He had former Air Force Academy cadet Paul Skenes start the game. Griffin Jax went all the way through, graduated from the Air Force Academy, and is a captain in the Air Force Reserves, but a pretty darn good pitcher in the major leagues as well. Going last year from the Twins to the Rays. And he's going to have to be at the top of his game, John. He's got Guerrero, Machado, Caminero.
Yeah, he relies heavily on that breaking ball. And there's changeup.
Guerrero doubled his last time. Takes in the dirt for ball 1. Home run of this game for the Dominicans, coming on a Caminero home run in the 2nd. This is a team that averaged 10 runs per game coming in. Oh, pitching staffs against these loaded lineups. Really impressive. Guerrero takes a perfect pitch.
height. Guerrero didn't like the call. Has such awareness of the strike zone at that height. That breaking ball needs to start at that height if you got any chance to get him to fish.
Slash to right center field. Pico Armstrong gliding to the track. He's there. Makes it look easy. One gone in the 6th inning. Manny Machado had to be having flashbacks when he saw Julio Rodriguez rob that home run in center field tonight. These teams faced off in the quarterfinals in San Diego in 2017, and it was Adam Jones with a home run robbery as Team USA went on to win the whole thing. Tonight, Julio Rodriguez taking a home run away from Aaron Judge. Of course, it was Machado you saw in that shot that hit that ball that Jones brought back. Inside, ball one from Jax. Machado is going into his 15th major league season. More than half of his career will be in San Diego once this year is complete. His 8th season with the Padres coming up. Wraps it on the ground to short. Backhand whip from the outfield grass. Oh, BB for out number 2.
I think he took just a little extra second to show off that arm, by the way. His dad, of course, a former Major League Baseball pitcher, probably says, yeah, that's where he's got that fastball from. This right here is just a cannon.
Seen him make a bunch of these plays in the Classic. Yeah, Dad taking credit for the arms. I don't know where he got the rest of it from. Diving plays, the home runs, but yeah, that's from me. 2 outs. Caminero. Line drive center field, hangs up for Pico Armstrong, and Griffin Jax. 7 pitches to retire the heart of games of pool play before going back to the Tigers. It was Skenes tonight, his 2nd start of the Classic, going 4 1/3. It's been the bullpen from there. 2-1 game. Into the top of the 7th inning, and this is Abner Uribe, the Milwaukee Brewers, to face Pico Armstrong. Uribe's nasty.
He is way nasty. I know he, coming into this game, I think was the only reliever to give up some runs for the Dominican team, but what an arm.
PCA sends a fly ball to center field. Rodriguez won't have to work quite as hard for this one. 1 gone in the 7th. United States would love some insurance going into the late innings.
Tremendous movement on that sinker that gets it off the barrel of the bat. This kind of hitter, Bobby, he's due.
One for 3 tonight. He struck out twice. First pitch from Uribe. Sizzles in there. Strike 1. 98-mile-per-hour sinker. You know, the United States offense has been more in fits and starts throughout the World Baseball Classic. And again, a lot of those come in the first 2 games against Brazil and Great Britain. Only 2 of them tonight, but the pitching holding down this Dominican lineup. But 2 so far has been enough, and this has been the workhorse for Team USA. For Bednar, this would be a 4th appearance in 6 games. You have the off day tomorrow, so if they win this game, still going to have everybody available for the championship. Rich down on strikes for the 3rd time. Well, since the 2 home runs in the 4th inning for Team USA, they're 1 for their last 11. Harper. 1 for 3. Does a double in this game. A 1 from Uribe. Both these teams, bad tastes in their mouth in 2023. Team USA that close against Japan. So the pain that comes of getting so close, pushing the boulder up the mountain, but not being able to finish it. For Team Dominican Republic, they got eliminated in pool play, which is unthinkable for that baseball-loving country.
Yeah, almost flukish, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that'll drive you if you got to wait 3 years.
Let it stew. Off the end of the bat, hooked on the ground to a backhanded glove. Marte flips it on to first and completes a 1-2-3-7 for Uribe. We stretched in quick inning, but as throughout the night, U.S. defense has been exceptional behind the plate.
Yeah, it's been outstanding. They have risen to the occasion, made some nice plays. Again, keeping the traffic off the bases, not creating any extra rallies, because as soon as the inning starts, the crowd sees it as a rally, and they're just waiting for that big moment to erupt.
Well, it looked like Team Canada was going to have that big moment against David Bednar, who comes into the game here. They had second and third, nobody out in the 7th inning. Bednar was able to get out of that jam, and the most used reliever for Mark DeRosa so far still has not given anything up.
Fastball, curveball, splitter, and he's going to come after you with 97 miles an hour and then use his off speed and change of speed to mess you up.
Bottom of the order, but it's all relative. Still a bunch of superstars. Julio Rodriguez leads off. First pitch from Bednar. In there for a strike. Started him with a splitter. Too close for comfort for the U.S. One-run game in the 7th. 0-2. Julio Rodriguez going into his 5th major league season. Represented hope for the Mariners and right away delivered, getting them to the postseason for the first time in 2 decades in his Rookie of the Year campaign. At the same time, success brings expectations. The big contract that he signed heightens those. And so it's been a bit of a complicated ride the last few years. Very up and down. This is still an electric player, but when he's right, is as good as anybody. Reaches out and flips one into shallow left field. Witt is under it for the first out of the 7th.
That's the wrong guy to be messing with on this team. Keep it away from shortstop.
Tonight hadn't been too many good spots to go after on that defense. Lineup known for its bats. But more about the gloves in this semi. Austin Wells, after his 7th inning walk-off home run, mercy rule win against Korea, is 0 for 2 tonight, but he sends this ball to right center field, and Aaron Judge isn't going to get there. Wells into second with a 1-out double. Tying running scoring position for the Dominican Republic.
He hit this one perfectly in between Judge and Armstrong, and that ball just gets over the head. That's saying something. It gets over the head of Aaron Judge.
Emotion spills out of Wells. Gerardo Perdomo, the 9-hitter, but one of the best clutch hitters in the league last year. Perdomo hit .330 with runners in scoring position. After a game-winning hit, they asked him about it, and he said, "My blood is like a frog, cold." Clutch Perdomo. Takes a strike, 1-1. They call him the Frogman now because of how good he is in these spots. David Bednar finds himself in a familiar situation. Pressure on 7th inning. His 1-1 pitch to Perdomo is pop foul. Strike 2.
You get so used to seeing a regular lineup, and I would say on average this has got to be the deepest the outfielders have ever played on a consistent basis, because you've got to respect the power of the entire lineup. Typically you're going to have one side of the outfield playing in, but not against the Dominican.
2-2. Bullpen quiet. Bednar's taken over for this 7th. He's home with a 2-2 pitch. Perdomo laces a base hit to center. Wells went back at first. He stops at third. Wells was unsure if that ball was going to get over Bobby Witt, and the way Witt's played, you don't blame him for being so. But he has to stop at third, and the tying run's still 90 feet away.
Well, he said he's clutch, and he went with the pitch. And to your point, Wells had to be absolutely sure, and that's what cost him the chance of scoring. He just talked about how deep the outfield has to play, but another tangled web here for Bednar.
Tatis has a hype man. Caminero. Tatis has about 30,000 hype men and women. Tying run at third. One gone in the 7th. Strike one. One. There goes Perdomo. Tatis swings and misses. Go-ahead run into scoring position with one away.
And that was a great move. Now puts the pressure on Team USA. They've got to bring the infield in, although be it with 2 strikes.
Holes get a little bit bigger for Tatis. The PR looking for the lead in the 7th. Bednar deals. Got him! Tatis is out number 2.
We've had 2 moments, Aaron Judge and now Tatis, with an opportunity for contact with less than 2 outs, and give the pitcher some credit. I mean, they have made huge pitches to 2 great hitters that could not put the ball in play.
Yeah, it was Severino that did it to Judge in the 3rd inning, 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. And now it's Bednar against Tatis, so it's up to Marte. Strike one. David Bednar just doesn't feel right until he's got his back against the wall, huh?
I guess not.
Nice.
So far, he is pitching his way out of some tough situations.
On an 0-1, Marte swings and misses, and it's 0-2. Just powered a fastball by him. The 0-2 fouls it back. Sticking with the hard stuff. Double from Wells and a single from Perdomo.
There's going to be some emotion one way or another here, either by Team USA or Team Dominican.
Another 0-2 pitch taken high. Looks like something is about to snap. Tying run at 3rd, go ahead run at 2nd. Time taken by Marte. Two hits in this game for the Diamondbacks second baseman. It's his double play partner that stands at second base as the go-ahead run. The 1-2 pitch. Bednar gets out of it. An escape artist for Team USA.